91.9 WFPK, Radio Louisville. I'm Kyle Meredith. And a man who just literally walked into the studio and sat down, Gabe Dixon, is back. Welcome back to town, man.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Straight in from Nashville and right into the seats.
That's right. I pulled up to the curb and walked in just now. Good to be here.
Waste no time. I know there's always a lot going on with your life, so excuse me for asking this question generically, but what's been going on?
A whole lot, honestly. I mean, last year I recorded an album, which I'll be putting out pretty soon. But aside from that, I've been doing some touring and some playing on other people's projects and a whole lot of songwriting for this and that. But right now, I'm really starting to focus on this new album release and doing some dates like this one with some great musicians who played on the record and. Just kind of trying to get the word out about the new release. Yeah.
Well, and Gabe Dixon playing tonight at WFPK's Winter Wednesday. I think that's been a little bit of the confusion around here about the release on this record because I guess you announced it like late last summer. And you went through a pledge music campaign, right?
Yeah. This is the first album I've ever released not on a record label. So I raised the funds through my fans, basically, through pledge music, crowdfunding. And so I've kind of been talking about the record for a long time because usually it just kind of, I spend a long time making an album and then people start to hear about it when it's about to come out. But this has been from the very beginning before I even went in the studio. And it's been a fun process, honestly, to get to share with the fans what I'm up to and, give little video updates. And I'm not the most outgoing, extroverted person, so it's good for me to kind of show what I'm up to and give people updates and that sort of thing. So that's probably why you've been hearing about it for a while.
It's a good thing you're an entertainer if you're not that
right. Yeah,
I'm not that good in front of people, so let's get on stage every night and sing The Strangers.
It's pretty weird, and I know several people who are like this. They're on stage. They're a little bit of a different personality than their shy self off stage. Yeah. But for me, it's always really been about the music and trying to make the best music and express myself. I've always been better expressing myself through music than through any talking or anything else like that.
Yeah, well, I have no experience with you on the Talking Beyond today, but I can definitely tell the time you put in here because you're a craftsman. That it seems the type of songwriter you are. You're a craftsman. I mean, the way you write a song, it's very evident that you think a lot about it because you write some of the best songs, pop songs, whatever you want to call them. But your catalog. I mean, we've always, of course, been big fans here at FPK.
That's nice to hear. Yeah. Well, maybe I did grow up in Nashville, Tennessee, so that could have something to do with the fact that I love songs and like making songs that really have an impact in the chorus and mean something. But that's nice to hear. I'm glad that you think that they're good. It's always nice. I'm typical insecure artist. I always like to hear positive feedback. It's a good thing.
Well, you've got plenty of positive positiveness coming at you from all these records. I want to talk a bit more about Nashville and that whole scene too here in a minute, but we should play something first from this new record, Turns to Gold, which eventually will be coming out.
Yeah, we just moved the release date yet again yesterday, but I think it's going to be April the 8th.
Yeah.
So all right, and we're going to release a couple of songs before then, just to kind of give people a little taste of what's on the record before we release the entire.
Yeah, I mean, has it been complete business reasons as to why it's kind of been, like I said, announced, and because there was a single that comes out right after it with "Holding of Freedom" that is kind of teases everyone, and then you're right because we kind of expect that here's a single, we're going to get the record in a couple months. Has it all been business decisions?
Some of it's business, but honestly, some of it was just this is the first album I've ever put out on vinyl, and honestly, so many people want to make vinyl records right now that there was a bit of a backlog and they couldn't really get to my pressing of the vinyl. So that delayed it for a while, and now it's just to the point where we want to make sure that if it's going to be put out, the most people that can hear it hear it. So we want to set it up properly and build excitement for it and that sort of. So that would be business reasons. I guess.
Well, I love it. So let's play a song right here. We were talking off mic, and you had mentioned that Redemption, which we've been playing quite a bit lately. You want to set this one up? Is there anything behind this
song? That Redemption. Yeah, I just kind of wanted to. I started with like a bluesy kind of riff, and this is sort of a song to me about somebody they're just flying a little too close to the sun. They're just kind of a little high on themselves, and maybe not making the best decisions, and living for the wrong kind of things. Their values are sort of in the wrong place, and they secretly sort of know it. And so that's sort of what this song is about, I guess.
All right. Gabe Dixon tonight at WFPK's Winter Wednesday with Brooke Annabelle, doors at 6. From the record Turns to Gold, it's That Redemption on FPK. Brand new from Gabe Dixon. That Redemption, the new record Turns to Gold. Gabe's going to be playing tonight at WFPK's Winter Wednesday with Brooke Annabelle opening up the show. And we were just talking, Brooke had also spent a lot of time in Nashville, which you're from.
I am from Nashville, yeah.
Born in Nashville.
More or less, yeah. I'm one of the few people find out that I grew up there, and they're like, "That's even possible to grow up in Nashville?" I thought everybody just moved there from somewhere else.
That's what you do. When you're a songwriter in Nashville and coming up, like trying to get an identity in a scene that just has this constant, import system of people also trying to get their identity. I mean, how do you stage yourself?
Well, I didn't really stage myself. I had kind of an eclectic musical upbringing because at the same time I studied over at Blair School of Music at Vanderbilt. I studied classical piano and music theory and all this stuff there. But at the same time, I somehow ended up in this teen country boy band when I was 12 years old called Six Shooter, and that we got signed to Curb Records.
What years was this?
This was a long time ago. It was like the 90s.
Because I remember like the Moffats and things like that. It must have been a little scene happening.
Yeah, a little bit. And I mean, we did videos and everything. And I think that kind of gave me a little glimpse into what recording in a studio is like and playing on tour and that kind of a thing. But I was also, watching, Edgar Meyer play bass over at Blair, and I'd go downtown and, Bela Fleck would be playing with the Flecktones, and I mean, it was a really rich environment. And then I left when I was 18. I went down to college in Miami, and at the University of Miami, and that's where I met my band and where I really started writing my own songs. And we moved up to New York and kind of got a record deal and started playing. So I wouldn't say my identity really. I wouldn't say I staged it in Nashville, but I did feel like I needed to go back there after a while because it is such a great music town, and I wanted to be a part of, making Nashville, a music city more than just a country music city, right. If you know what I mean.
Were you part of the 10 from 10 series?
Yeah, 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10, that's it. Yeah. That was so cool because, I mean, again, in a city that feels like it could or would have so much competition, and probably does to a certain extent, this was the thing about, championing all of these other great songwriters.
Yeah, I've always liked that about that city, and it's, I feel like that's the best way to go because as artists, we really, we have the opportunity to help each other out. So it's best if we can do that. And that tour was always kind of like rolling summer camp for me. I think I only really did it once on like the full on tour, but we're all like 10 of artists on a tour bus. I mean, it's a little nuts, but fun and it's cool because you can learn things from the other people and gain a new respect for them, and it builds the community. And that's a good thing, I think. I'm
really surprised, given the era, that no one thought to put the cameras in there and it become its own reality show.
They did make a movie called Any Day Now, but that was before I was involved in it. So that was the first year. But they should totally do that.
That'd be fun. I'd watch.
I think a lot of people would.
Yeah. Well, you'd mentioned playing with some other people over the last couple of years, and of course, excuse me, you've got that storied career of playing with McCartney and Supertramp. Are you still doing that?
I am a member of Supertramp still, but I don't know what the future of that band is going to be because Rick Davies he was diagnosed with cancer and he's going through some chemotherapy right now, and so we would have been on tour at the end of this fall, but we had to cancel the entire European tour because of his illness. So we're going to kind of see how that goes and see how Rick does after that. and take it from there. But no, I love playing in that band, and I've had some amazing experiences in my career.
I'm sure.
Playing with Paul McCartney on his record and doing some live stuff with him, and then Alison Krauss, who's one of my favorite singers, who's actually her brother. I drove up here with him because he's going to play bass with me tonight.
I mean, Even the Rain from the One Spark record, just beautiful song.
Oh, thanks.
With the two of you guys,
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, she that was like a dream for me because she's. It doesn't get any better as far as singers.
That's true. That's true. So, have you been playing with should we expect you guesting up on anyone coming up that you're able to talk about?
Well, not that I know of at the moment. I do. I had a wonderful. There's a wonderful guest singer on the record named Natalie Prass.
Mm-hmm. We know Natalie's music around here. Yeah.
Yeah, Natalie is on a song that we're probably going to release in early February. It's kind of a duet between me and her called "The Way to Love Me." Mm-hmm. And so that's someone who you'll hear me singing with soon. But it always kind of pops up at the last minute, just random things.
Right.
So and so is looking for, somebody to play on this or that, and I never know what's going to happen. Honestly, but if it sounds cool, then I always like to do it. I used to be very rigid about what I have to do this. I'm not going to do this because it's not my thing. But man, I'll play with anybody who I think they're great, and I'll back them up and just play keyboards in the background, or I'll sing with them, or whatever it is. I just want to make good music.
Yeah. Well, we're really happy you're making good music. Let's hear another one from your record, your upcoming album, Turns to Gold. Again, Gabe Dixon is playing tonight at Winter Wednesday. What should we play for this next song?
We could, either Holding Her Freedom, or you could do maybe One Thing I Did Right.
You do that one?
Or Flow. You said you already played Flow Like Wine.
I played Flow Like Wine. Yeah, that's a great song too.
Yeah, maybe One Thing I Did Right.
All right, let's do that one here.
This is something I wrote with Trent Dabbs, who sort of started the 10 out of 10 thing.
All right.
Since we were on that topic.
Full circle.
Yeah.
Nicely done. All right, Gabe, it's so nice to meet you, and thank you so much for dropping in today. We'll see you tonight at WFPK's Winter Wednesday. And again, if you're looking for information about it, just head over to WFPK.org. And then hopefully we'll see you later on in the year when the album's out.
I hope so. I love this station, and I appreciate you all always being supportive of my music.
All right, man. That's good talking to you. It's 91.9 WFPK, The One Thing I Did Right, Gabe Dixon.